Well, welcome to the state of downtown. All right, tonight I'm going to let our team tell you about all the things that we have accomplished in 2013. But just to give you a little bit of a background for some of you who have never heard of our organization or are new to this, we are the Downtown Fresno Partnership. We are a property-based improvement district, which is an assessment district. We have a lot of students here, so this is a really important thing to understand. All of the property owners within the district self-assess themselves to give us a pool of money that allows us to do things, services for the downtown district. We have a 5-year contract, and we'll be talking about renewal within a couple of years. And this model is seen around the world, literally around the world. There are business improvement districts in Italy that you can go visit and check out this system. And we're very lucky to have one here in Fresno because it is a method to getting a lot accomplished. And we work closely with the municipalities and have a great relationship with them. So our programs, we do environmental enhancements. How do we make downtown look better and feel safer? We do marketing and events. How do we change perceptions and bring people downtown and show them that there's a different downtown than they may have thought of in the past? We also do advocacy and business recruitment and retention. So obviously everyone knows our biggest point that we are advocating for at this point in time, and we'll talk about that a little bit again in a moment. And here I'm going to hand things over to our team to tell you about their activities, starting with Mitch Friend.
Thanks, Kate. I'm Mitch Friend. I'm the Ambassador Program Director for the Downtown Partnership. At the DFP, at Downtown Fresno Partnership, we're dedicated to changing perceptions. This begins with the physical environment of downtown. In 2013, we hired a new landscaper who planted more than 2,000 new plants on Fulton and Van Ness. Thank you, Miller Landscaping, for keeping our... Thanks. Thank you, Miller Landscaping, for keeping our downtown looking green. And there's a few examples for you. We also provide regular service to garbage receptacles on Van Ness, and our ambassadors do daily litter patrols. And speaking of ambassadors, another program that is changing perceptions daily downtown is our awesome team of Downtown Fresno ambassadors. Last June, they celebrated the 1 year anniversary of this program with a Fresno Grizzlies game where one of our ambassadors got to throw out the first pitch, and we got recognized at the City Council. Working as uniform concierges, our team of ambassadors positively interacted with 62,000 downtown customers this past year. These interactions ranged from shopping and dining suggestions to friendly greetings. Ambassadors also work closely with downtown businesses and cultural organizations. Last year, the team distributed 21,000 brochures to their customers. They also received familiarization tours from downtown businesses to expand their knowledge of what's going on downtown. As the eyes and ears of downtown, our team's proactive reporting informed the city of more than 2,000 infrastructure, safety, and cleanliness concerns, most of which were rectified within 24 to 48 hours. Thank you to all the departments of the city of Fresno for being so responsive to these concerns. One of those great departments is the city's graffiti abatement team. They do a fantastic job removing graffiti downtown. And I'm happy to add the ambassadors are contributing as well by removing smaller incidents themselves for quicker cleanup. Last year, ambassadors removed over 156 pieces of graffiti, and we plan to do more this year. Ambassadors, please stand. We have a full team of 7, but we have 4 here with us tonight. The team is here to serve all of you, your businesses, and your guests. So please let me know if you want to schedule a tour for our team to come and learn about your business, or if you would like us to distribute your information to the general public. So thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce our SC2 fellow, Gretchen Moore.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I am Gretchen Moore, and as Mitch said, I am an SC2 fellow. I focus on community engagement. Fresno is actually one of 6 cities in the country that was selected to participate in the White House Strong Cities, Strong Communities initiative, which is SC2. And it's the only city west of the Mississippi that was selected to participate. Cole Judge and I are fellows with the program, and we're here in Fresno for 2 years, working with the Downtown Fresno Partnership to help revitalize downtown. Cole is actually at a conference, New Partners for Smart Growth Conference in Denver this week, so I will be reporting for both of us, although I probably should have just not mentioned her and taken the credit for both of our work, so I'll learn next time. Some of the projects that we've been working on in our time here in Fresno are maintaining our website calendar of events, which showcases over 1,000 downtown events, producing the Downtown Dining Guide, which lists dining and events, and was distributed to over 15,000 downtown visitors this year. You actually have one in the stack of papers in front of you, so make sure you take a look at that. We also created a Downtown Fresno Partnership membership program to help increase the network of stakeholders that we work with. It launched this summer, and I should just save you the trouble now. Just sign up as a member because I will hunt every one of you down. So just become a member and save yourself the trouble. Save me the trouble. We also conducted extensive research on the performance of over 200 pedestrian malls around the country and generated a comprehensive report that is being published this month. Excuse me. We produced a document on downtown's vital statistics, which we use to market downtown to prospective residents, property owners, and business owners. And thanks to a generous grant from Wells Fargo, we were able to provide marketing assistance to downtown businesses this year. We partnered with Red Wave PR at Fresno State University to bring 31 students and partner them with businesses downtown, helping them become active on social media and employ new marketing strategies. And that partnership resulted in 1,600 hours of assistance to downtown businesses. The grant also gave us the capital to hold our first Thumbs Up Downtown event, which took place this fall, and it was a social media scavenger hunt where participants scanned QR codes at participating businesses to try and win prizes. So during the 6-hour event, we had 34 participating businesses, 743 scans from 130 registered participants, trying for 238 chances to win prizes. That's a lot of numbers. That just means it was a really active day downtown, and we were thrilled to be able to host this event. That also had outdoor performances and activities and a community art project that led to a pop-up gallery in a vacant storefront. So thank you, Wells Fargo, for making that happen. We also work with third parties interested in hosting downtown events. So we help them with marketing, logistical support. We offer grants for marketing to these organizations hosting events. And in 2013, we assisted over 30 organizations producing events downtown that brought nearly 40,000 people to the center of our city. And so we thank all of the organizations that help our downtown by hosting events here. Our fellowship, Coles and My Fellowship, concludes this September, but we have a lot that we still want to accomplish while we're here, including in-depth research projects, such as a pedestrian counts on Fulton Mall. We want to continue to assist business owners in their efforts to market themselves, particularly on social media. And we will be working to coordinate Third Thursday events, which are quarterly events targeted to specific audiences. So, for example, we have the Downtown Booster Squad, which is a gathering of the hospitality, tourism, and event industry members, which will help open doors for cross-promotion. We have Downtown on Tap, which is a quarterly networking event for our downtown business owners to share information and get to know each other. And quarterly cash mobs, which is kind of like a flash mob just without all the singing and dancing, but we'll shop at local businesses. there might be some singing and dancing. It's the Downtown Partnership after all. So as SC2 fellows, Cole and I have been really honored to be a part of the community here, and we're looking forward to the future that Fresno has ahead of it because we think it's very, very bright. So I will turn it over now to Rocio, who is our events manager.
Okay, hi everyone. At the Downtown Fresno Partnership, we produce events with an ulterior motive. We honestly don't care if you like to ice skate, but if ice skating gets you downtown, then that's exactly what we're going to produce. But we secretly hope that you come into the ice skating rink subconsciously forces you to figure out parking, which isn't so bad. Find a lunch spot, there are quite a few to choose from, and then enjoy a beer with friends. We can give you a few suggestions of where to make this happen. So what kind of events do we produce? Last year, we produced 12 monthly Yellow Umbrella tours, an average of 10 guests per tour. Our large festivals at the beginning and end of the summer, Cinco de Mayo and Fiestas Patrias, which drew 65,000 guests to downtown. Big thank you to Univision, our media partner, and Donna G, our main sponsor. Car Hub, which we began managing after Creative Fresno got it kicked off, thanks to Creative Fresno and all the regular vendors that show up every week. Our weekly market on Kern, we extended the season, adding new vendors, and continue to attract more guests. Over the Edge, great event that adds the wow factor to downtown. Suds in the City, 2 years ago we rebranded Suds. This year we had over, 2013 we had over 40 breweries and 80 beers to sample, and attendance doubled from 2012. Our 84th annual Downtown Fresno Christmas Parade, we continue to draw new participants. Thank you to Mid Valley, our presenting sponsor, and KC24, our incredible media partner. Thank you to all of our parade sponsors. The 2014 parade will have a new route, and we look forward to seeing you there. The second annual Downtown Ice Rink was a big success. Not only did the rink give 13 people a seasonal job, but it attracted over 35,000 skaters to downtown. Yes. And it also drew a total of 65,000 guests. The rink benefited 7 nonprofits, and it hosted 25 school performance groups. It brought 2,546 underserved students to the rink through our school sponsorship program. Thank you to all of our ice rink sponsors. All of these events put together resulted in 137 event days in 2013, drawing an estimated 260,000 people downtown. Okay, and now Steve.
Isn't this great? Only good news. Well, I got more. Okay. As my colleagues have indicated, we're diligently working to strengthen our existing businesses. We've learned that a one-on-one interaction is the best approach. So in 2013, we provided coaching and assistance to downtown businesses, including social media training, marketing assistance, and retail advice in 172 one-on-one meetings with these businesses. You know those Red Wave PR? Yep, there you go. You can clap. That's good. The Red Wave PR students from Fresno State, who Gretchen was talking about earlier, those students contributed 1,600 hours on marketing projects, resulting in valuable assistance for 25 downtown businesses. Yeah, that's what. We also coordinated. We coordinated volunteers for a lot of different projects, ranging from interns to litter pickups. Here is how we leveraged our very valuable volunteer time. We had 174 hours of volunteer cleanups, including streets and alleys in our district and Chinatown. 80 hours of special project interns, 50 hours of volunteer interns working on the I Believe in Downtown Fresno campaign, helping at various downtown events. So what does that look like in dollars? Well, our volunteer hours added up to $27,357 in wage equivalency for 2013. Thank you, volunteers. We know that parking is always a top concern of downtown businesses, so we subsidize parking for all existing businesses and their employees. We also provide signage so their customers know they can validate their parking fees. Last year, our organization covered 32,000 hours of parking. A few weeks ago, we held our first concierge. Did I pronounce that right, Kate? Concierge. Yeah. Tour of downtown. We rolled out the red carpet for 12 members of the Radisson Hotel front desk team. We visited Saigon Deli, Pease Public House and Local Market, the historic Warner's Theater area right outside here, Rizana Teas, Miscellaneous Trading Company, Cocky's Bar and Grill, and Yogurt, etc. over on Kern Street there. Do you hear that? There it is. Hotel staff learned more about the very local variety and quality of dining and shopping that their guests are looking for. I would be understating things if I told you that the business base is just merely growing downtown. Actually, downtown Fresno now boasts 8 new unique restaurants and 63, yeah, that's shareable, 63 diverse businesses that emerged just in the last year. 63. 2014, our focus will stay on these downtown businesses. We're engaging the growth we see with concentrated interaction, connecting businesses, and developing confidence in our downtown marketplace. We'll continue our concierge tours with the hotels and hospitality staff each quarter and invite other groups to participate. We have a great product here in downtown Fresno. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Well, we know how important it is to communicate with our constituents, all the owners and downtown customers. So here's how we do it. In 2013, we made a concerted effort to increase our visibility through social media. Our Facebook followers grew to 3,937 last year, and we crossed the 4,000 mark in January of this year. We started this account in October of 2011. Our Twitter following is up to 4,291, and we increased our newsletter frequency to 2 times a month, with each edition averaging 19 articles. In 2013, we blasted 21 newsletters with 399 articles. Whew! We ended 2013 with 3,425 newsletter subscribers. Last year, our daily website views averaged 2,497. We added an ambassador Twitter account, a Market on Kern Facebook page, and a downtown ice rink page. Also last year, we created a downtown blog, and posted 126 articles by 20 different contributors with a total of 25,338 views. If anyone is interested, by the way, in being a guest blogger, come see me because we like to have all of the voices of downtown included in this. In a stroke of delicious brilliance, we launched a Restaurant of the Week where a staff visit different downtown restaurants each Friday and we write a blog about the experience. This is my personal favorite because it's really, really good, you guys. We also launched a mobile website geared toward visitors who are searching for entertainment, restaurants, shopping, and public art. For our downtown businesses that aren't as active on social media, we physically deliver a monthly newsletter packed with information about events and activities. Last year, we started doing tours for schools, often tying them in with critical thinking assignments back in the classroom. And we also have our monthly Yellow Umbrella tours, which are free small group tours that focus on a different part of downtown each month. We've even given tours on bicycle. So if your group wants a tour, we'll make it work. These efforts have reached 545 individuals last year in small group settings. Next year, we plan to expand these efforts. New groups will be approached for tours. We're adding an active Pinterest and Instagram account to our social media outlets. We will increase our blog frequency and grow followers for all of our activities. And our hand-delivered newsletters are getting a new look and feel, and we will begin mailing them to property owners as well. And now I'd like to bring back our fearless leader, Kate Borders.
All right, we have a great team, and I really appreciate all of the work that they do on a daily basis. So there are just a couple of items that they didn't cover that I want to make sure I bring your attention to. First of all, we commissioned 2 new murals this year. Has anyone seen the big Fresno mural that's out in the Business Journal's building? So that mural was commissioned by us in partnership with Creative Fresno, and we also produced the one, we didn't produce it, the artist did, Jamie Ortega on Bill Bruce's studio as well. So 2 new murals, and we plan to do that every year. We also launched a TV show called Do You Get Downtown? Craig Sharton and I are the hosts. It's a lot of fun, and Wells Fargo is the sponsor, so we're thrilled to be launching that now, and it's a monthly show. There's the mural. That's us at the ice rink. And finally, this I have to draw your attention to because I cannot tell you how long it took to get exit signs that say Downtown Fresno. So I think I made 1 million phone calls, but we have exit signs leading into Downtown Fresno now from every direction. So it may seem little, but it's near and dear to my heart. Okay, and the most important thing that we have been doing all year and that we will be doing for the next 2 weeks is getting everyone ready and making sure that everyone really understands the importance of the Fulton corridor. Now, I know that the mayor is going to talk about this a lot, so I just want to give you a little overview. I'm going to tell you a short story about where we've been. In 2010, our board and the community started doing charrettes and looking at the options for Fulton. And it actually had been happening, much longer than that, but the formalized charrettes started happening. And at that point in time, we decided that there were 3 viable options that we would consider, and the community got together and narrowed down those 3 items, those 3 alternatives. 2 of them are traffic bearing on the Fulton corridor. In 2011, our board took a formal vote in favor of alternative 1, returning traffic to the Fulton corridor with a straight street, 1 line in either direction. And we then launched a campaign called I Believe in Downtown Fresno. You saw the video at our annual meeting last year. Preston and Cliff right here. And we have since had I Believe meetings all over the city. We've reached 896 individuals through these I Believe meetings. And then we got $16 million. This is Director of Transportation Anthony Fox here announcing that we received that Tiger funding thanks to Elliot Bouch, who wrote a phenomenal grant that got funded. Elliot's mom is in the back cheering, which is just adorable. And the mayor encouraged everyone to really understand the importance of this and to make sure that you get it, that this is now, that this is revitalization and this is what it looks like. And she's going to be the one that's going to really kind of stir your spirits in just a moment. But this is so, so crucial to our downtown. So we've continued to have more I Believe meetings, and we are now gearing up for the council meeting on February 27th. This is the time. February 27th. We need everyone to be in attendance at February 27th, and we need you to show your support. We will actually be giving away T-shirts ahead of time. When you can come early at 4 o'clock to the council meeting, and we'll give you a T-shirt so that everyone will know, that you're supportive. So please mark your calendars for February 27th. If you believe in all of the data from all of the other cities, the research that has been done, the history, and you believe that now is the time for Fresno to change. We do. We believe that now is the time for Fresno to change. And I think that all of you will agree that something has to happen. So join me on February 27th and make sure that your voice is heard. And if you have questions about it, we would be happy to answer any questions. There's a lot that has happened, stakeholder meetings, as you can see here. The community has weighed in, and now it's all back to you. So, February 27th, who's with me? Excellent. And again, I'm sure the mayor is going to touch on this just a tiny bit. She'll probably mention it just a little bit in her speech in just a moment. So we do all of this work in downtown Fresno within our organization so that good things will happen in the community, so that good things will happen in the businesses in the community, and so that we'll have nice things to say about what all of you are doing. So tonight I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you're doing. I want to hear what's going on in the business community, what events are taking place. There's some amazing things happening right now in downtown Fresno that we are hoping are in partnership with our organization and that our organization is helping to make possible. So I'm going to start by asking Jake Soberall what's going on.
Hi, my name is Jake Soberall. I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called Bitwise Industries. And this last year, thank you. Last year, we opened a technology hub in downtown Fresno, and an empty building is now home to 28 technology companies, some from here in Fresno, and some from far-off places like Paris, France, and Seattle, Washington, all coming here for Fresno's growing technology scene. We're very excited about that growth. Kate's organization has been wonderful in helping us with that, and the growth is so fast that we've got more than 30 companies now on the waiting list to come in, and so quite a lot of growth, and very happy to be doing it in downtown Fresno.
Thank you, Jake. Preston Prince.
Good evening. I'm the CEO of the Fresno Housing Authority. Really proud to let you all know that in May of 2013, we tore down the Droge building, the dilapidated building at the corner of Inyo and Van Ness. We should give a shout out for that. In October, we started construction on a mixed-use development. It's a 4-story building with 45 units of housing, 3,000 square feet of retail. It leveraged $5 million of public funds with $5 million of private funds. So we're bringing private equity and debt into the community. That should give a shout out. Thank you. We will be opening the building in October of this year, 2014, and we will name the building at that time. Thank you.
Thank you, Preston. Chris Daughtry from across the street, Warner's Theater.
Good evening. My name is Christopher Daughtry, and I'm the acting executive director and CEO for the Warner Center for the Performing Arts. We had a very successful 2013. Our biggest success by far was the return of silent films to Warner's. So far, we have provided well over 2,500 patrons with a new and memorable experience. The Phantom of the Opera showing alone had over 1,200 people in attendance. In comparison, thank you. In comparison to prior years, the Warner Center has increased business by 75%. And in 2014, we hope to build upon that success as we look forward to a thriving downtown. We offer free guided tours of the entire center at Art Hop each month, and by offering an inside look at our historic landmark, we have greatly increased our exposure within the community and thus have fostered many new partnerships with local organizations and school districts. Thank you.
Go Warners. We have a new charter school in downtown Fresno, and Sheila's going to tell us about that.
I'm Sheila Skibby, and I am the vice principal and the main charter proponent of Kepler Neighborhood School. We opened just down the street in the Cornerstone Education Building on August 19th, and we currently service 213 students in grades K through 8 with 13 wonderful teachers and 3 administrators, and we currently have 30 students already on the wait list. Our deadline for next year isn't even until April 1st, so we're really excited about that. Our main focus is service learning, which is basically the marriage of community service and classroom learning. And so we put our kids to work, and we actually put them to work on the mall and downtown. Our middle school students just finished a 2-month project where they were learning about math, but they did it by measuring buildings and researching buildings, and they built 2-dimensional models on paper and in the computers, and then they did three-dimensional models, and then they had an architect come and talk to them about building designs, and so they made models of those buildings. And then they had to research the buildings, and then they actually presented on why their buildings should be preserved. So that's the model of learning that we're doing in downtown, and we participate very actively in the downtown activities. We've been in the parades, we go to the silent movies, we have active and daily almost field trips in downtown where students are going to all of the different areas of art and culture and history here within walking distance of downtown. Our kids can walk up to 3 miles in downtown from the doors of our school and learn about all the history of Fresno.
Thank you, Sheila. I don't know if anybody went to Les Mis, but if you didn't, you should have. Ron Eichmann's going to tell us a little bit about that.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Eichmann from Fresno Grand Opera, and we are a recipient of one of the marketing grants from the Fresno Downtown Partnership, so we're very appreciative of that. And I'm also happy to report that our production of Les Mis last month at the William Saroyan Theater was what we believe to have been the largest locally produced theatrical event ever presented in the Central Valley. I'm hoping that some of you saw it, but if you didn't, a couple of fun facts. The show featured scenery originally created for the Queen of England, original Broadway-designed video projections generated and created specifically for Fresno, and a world-class cast that included many of our very own extraordinary artists from Fresno and the Central Valley. And perhaps most interestingly is some of the very artists that appeared on our stage last month have been cast in the revival of Les Mis that will open on Broadway next month. So a cool case of you saw them first in Fresno, as it should be even before New York City. All told, the production attracted an audience of more than 10,000 people, generated revenue of nearly $1 million to support the local economy, and it all happened right here in downtown Fresno.
Thank you, Ron. We had a groundbreaking a few weeks ago, right, Kendra?
Children Incorporated, which is the nonprofit entity that the Commission established to support the Lighthouse for Children downtown. It is located on Tulare Street between N and O, and along with the Commission's investment of over $11 million, we were able to access over $5 million in new market tax credits through the federal government program into our own economy, into those jobs. The facility will be home of a high-quality child care center, which will serve not only as a programmatic model for the entire county, but also a financial model. So it will be a blended funded program that will be operated by our partners at EOC. It will have early Head Start, private preschool, and private pay, as well as subsidized preschool slots. So we are really excited. Over 80 children will be served in that. So if you work downtown and have young children, you might want to get on that list sooner than later, because I know that there's going to be a lot of demand. It will also serve as the hub for our work throughout this county, as a kind of beacon of hope, and hence the name Lighthouse for Children, for looking at sustainable solutions for how we address the wicked problems facing families in this community. It will also serve as a social innovation hub for the social service sector. We have multiple agencies, and we're excited. We actually have more agencies that want to co-locate there than we have space for right now. So that whole thought of if you build it, they will come, and we're really excited to be part of the downtown family now, and are excited about having a physical space that's going to serve as a reminder that as a community we need to put the needs of young children first. So thank you.
Thank you, Kendra. Too late for my children, but again, thank you to Craig Sharton for the food tonight, and he also is going to tell you a little bit about his new place.
Thank you, Kate. We opened Peeves Public House and Local Market 4.5 months ago. And aside from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we do special events. In 4.5 months, we've done 112 of those. Events like guest chefs, soccer matches, science lectures, live music, and movie nights. And in those 4.5 months, we've had over 5,000 people to attend those events on the Fulton Mall. Our local market, which opened December 20th, is already selling products from local farmers, food makers, and artisans. It's 100% local product in our market, and we have over 80 vendors already. So there's a lot of enthusiasm for supporting local businesses. We feature over 80 craft beers, and we're proud to support all of our local microbreweries. And so far, we have not repeated a recipe on our menu. And I hate to say this after your earlier statistics, but after 4.5 months, we have over 4,000 likes on our Facebook page. And lastly, we're proud to be located on the Fulton Mall, but we can't wait to be located on Fulton Street.
Woo! Thank you, Craig. And an event that happened on the Fulton Mall, but might happen someday on Fulton Street, MATHR de Leon.
Hi, my name is MATHR de Leon. I am the creative director of an annual all-ages music festival called CATACOMB Party. It is a music and thank you. It is a music and arts festival. It takes place every July, and it's very hot. And so we grew the event this year. It's our second year. We grew from 2 stages to 7. We went from 1,500 attendees to over 4,000. This year's event included 6 different nonprofit groups, 22 local food and retail vendors, over 20 fiscal partners, and over 40 different bands and DJs from as far as New York City, Paris, and Nigeria. The party also featured live mural installations from over 20 fine artists from around the state, and people came out from every part of Fresno, but we estimate that approximately 15 to 20% of our attendees were actually from beyond the valley. So I think this proves the old adage that if you build it, they will come, and they will drink all of your beer. Because in addition to Tioga Sequoia's great success at the event, we also received reports that Fresno Brewing Company completely sold out. And what wasn't supposed to happen, but CVS on the corner completely sold out of beer, cigarettes, and water. So we're happy to be providing an economic footprint in downtown and to continue to produce great events. We're actually moving to April of 2015 to get out of the heat and also to coincide with a few other things. So we will be producing a couple smaller events this year. One in particular, we'll be working with the Fresno Urban Sound Experience to present their kickoff night, hopefully. And that happens in September. So look us up online and stay tuned. Thanks.
Thank you, MATHR. All right. Thank goodness Nick came along and reopened the Downtown Club. I don't know what we would have done without Nick.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just want to say this is awesome, awesome crowd, and it's my pleasure to be part of it. Thank you very much. We just reopened the Downtown Club in October of last year, and we have hosted so many events. And one of them, Mr. PRESTON here, has been helping us a lot, been supporting us a lot, and Kate, she's been awesome for us, and I just want to thank everyone. Hopefully we'll open for the dinners and weekend brunch very soon. And next month we'll have our liquor license. And I just want to thank you. I just want to thank the support of everyone in the city here, city government, city employers. Everybody's been helping us a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick. So just in case everyone didn't hear that, they are open to the public. You do not have to have a membership to go to the Downtown Club. So go to the Downtown Club. All right. Mike has some news from Tioga Sequoia.
So my name is Mike Cruz with Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company. We're a brewery in downtown. Hopefully all of you know about us. We've been brewing beer in downtown for a little over 3 years. And the number one question that we get asked by out in the trade or people just knocking on our door as Kevin's trying to brew every morning or as we're bottling is, when are you going to open to the public? And we now finally have an answer, and the answer is April. So, yes. So we plan to have a kickoff party on April 12th, which is opening weekend for Fresno Grizzlies. We're right across the street, pretty much at the start of Fulton Street, of what will soon become Fulton Street. And so one of the big things that you can expect from us is brewery tours, a beer garden, rotating specialty craft beers on tap, retail sales like bottles, growler fills, keg sales, and seasonal parking lot events that feature food trucks, live music, and other forms of entertainment. We truly feel that, just like everyone else, if we build it, they will come, and we really hope to kickstart spring 2014 with good craft beer in downtown Fresno. Thanks.
There's already a lot of good craft beer in downtown Fresno. All right, David doesn't sell beer, he sells yogurt.
Good evening, everybody. I am the owner of Yogurt Etc. here, located in downtown Fresno, off Kern and M Street, across the street from the convention center. What makes our yogurt shop pretty unique is we are the only yogurt shop in the whole country that not only serves self-serve yogurt, but also has breakfast, lunch, and dinner items, and we're proud to represent downtown Fresno. As far as breakfast goes, we have eggs, coffee, cereal, oatmeal, bagels, and then lunch and dinner we have tri-tip sandwiches, we have a salad bar, clam chowder bread bowls, 5 different hot dogs. We also have vegan options, vegetarian chili, and a beef chili. Really quick, I want to thank the mayor again for coming to our grand opening, taking time out of her busy schedule to come support us. I want to thank Craig Chardon, great business mind. I love sitting down with him and just picking his brain. I want to thank Civic Center, Michelle Titillion, and everybody from her crew. They've been very, very helpful in as far as getting settled in with our new business. And Downtown Partnership, you guys have done a great job, not only promoting our business, but putting events around Civic Center, like the Farmers Market, which supports local business, which is great. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, this is just great to see this community, this almost family base. We all have one goal. Growing up, my grandpa used to always tell me, when it comes to life and business, you're only a stranger once. And since I've been here, I no longer feel like a stranger. I feel part of this family and this community, and I'm grateful, very grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. Layla Forstead from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Fresno Clovis Convention and Visitors.
Yes, we have the wonderful privilege of promoting this destination. A vital part of our downtown is the convention center facilities. And just in 2013, we brought 33 convention groups to the downtown facilities with an estimated economic impact of $4.7 million. We feel very fortunate to have those facilities to sell, and all of our attendees were able to enjoy the downtown hotels, restaurants, shopping, attractions, and with the help of our downtown ambassadors, which has been a wonderful partnership, our convention attendees are able to be sent to different events that are going on, and it has just been a wonderful partnership, so keep on building.
Thank you, Layla. Linda Cano from the Fresno Art Museum.
Hi, I'm Linda Cano from the Fresno Art Museum, and we were able to host 2 exhibitions that focused on downtown. One was Corky Normart's 50 Years of Downtown, and the other one was Downtown Visions, hashtag Downtown Visions. And we collaborated with Suzanne Burtz-Rosa, Downtown Business, for that great design work there on our invitations. We also were supported by the James Irvine Foundation, And we were supported by Downtown Fresno Partnership, which was great, very successful. And prior to these exhibitions, we did a photo walk, which was a collaboration with our friends from Spectrum Gallery and also Downtown Fresno Partnership. We had one of those tours that you heard about earlier, and folks went downtown on the Fulton Mall. They took their cameras, their sketch pads, and they got an absolutely wonderful tour of the spectacular historical architecture, and they learned about the world-class art collection that we have on our Fulton Mall. And then they got inspired to submit artwork to hashtag Downtown Visions, and that was a fully community-curated, crowdsourced exhibition. I'd like you to know that over 7,000 people saw those two exhibitions. We're very proud of those. And inspired by those two shows, we also collaborated with Fresno Unified School District and asked kids what they thought Fresno would look like in 50 years. And so we did a show called Future 50. 700 kids participated in that exhibition from 10 schools under the guidance of 14 teachers. And that was a great show. It was at Peeves last week. Thank you, Craig, for having that show at Peeves. And we had about 2,000 people see the show at the museum. And it's interesting to note that kids thought that Fresno downtown in 2064 was business-friendly, clean, and had quite a few Ferris wheels, amusement parks, and the transportation was by water slide.
Wonderful. And our last bit of good news is coming from Herman Amezcua from Univision.
Herman Amezcua. Very good. German Amezcua, Operations Manager for Univision. Been in the Valley now for over 20 years here in Fresno. We've been operating Univision for 41 years now, and like everybody said, you build it, they come. Nobody believed when I talked to people how many people come to our events. Mike had that, if you build it, they come. Everybody else was saying it. He's like, oh, every time they say it. But it's true. People listen, and when you talk to them in the language of comfort, they do come. We have two great events, one coming up in May, early May, and then we also have Cinco de Mayo, and we have the Mexican Independence Day. Those events are held at the Fulton Mall. There's a great picture of it in your program, and I thought there was going to be one on that slide.
There was.
There was. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Great events. Welcome you to come out. We love soccer in the Hispanic community. We also love boxing. We will be bringing Unimas Solo Boxeo Tecate. We'll be coming to downtown Fresno, Selland Arena, the end of May. Look forward to seeing you guys there.
Thank you, Herman. Now we have one award to give, and then we will hand things over to the mayor. Joining me is Jeff Becker, again, our incoming board chair.
Thank you, Kate. So revitalization is a dirty business. It takes an incredible level of commitment, hard work, and passion to be an advocate for any project that is so grand in scope. Downtown Fresno has many advocates who are cheering on the success of our inner core, championing the culture and historic buildings, and crying out for an urban destination. But in the process of doing these types of projects, certain individuals always rise to the top.
In the first month after I arrived in downtown Fresno, Al Allen sat me down in his property, which is now Peeves Public Market. And he showed me all the plans that were done in the 2010 charrettes. And he was so thrilled for the future of Fulton, owning 3 properties on Fulton. He spoke of these plans with the giddiness of a 5-year-old who was just told he was going to Disneyland. He couldn't wait to see Fulton reconfigured.
When Kate asked our board if we could muster up the support to pull off a Christmas parade in 5 short weeks, Al Allen said, "I want a sponsor. I'll volunteer. Do you need participants? I'll drive my tractor with my grandkids. And do you need other sponsors? Let me go make some calls." Al Allen was on it.
When I mentioned at a board meeting that we were considering throwing people off a building, rappelling people off a building, Al Allen chuckled very, very loudly, and he said, "Where do I sign up?"
Al was an example of the relentless positive spirit and dedication that is absolutely imperative when it comes to making anything happen, and he was our most zealous cheerleader. He never missed a meeting and contributed to every effort that we undertook.
Al was a man of conviction. His family and his faith kept him grounded, but he was a passionate dreamer, and he believed in our efforts in the future of downtown. We lost Al in early 2013, and it was a loss for his family and a great loss for our community.
Today, we're beginning a tradition of honoring an outstanding individual that embodies the spirit that was so graciously exhibited by Al Allen. Each year, we will recognize one individual who tirelessly works for downtown, is driven to see downtown's future successes, is positive in their execution, and never waning in their commitment.
The first annual Allen Award would rightly go to Al himself. And so today, to accept the award on his behalf, is Al's daughter, Gail.
Thank you. My dad would be so very humbled to see all these people standing up for him. Thank you, Downtown Fresno Partnership. I believe I said that correctly. There is no doubt that my dad loved downtown. If he wasn't talking about it, he would be wearing a t-shirt declaring it, "I heart downtown." He had so much pride in his properties on the Fulton Mall and knew that one day, downtown and the Fulton Mall would be thriving again. Dad adored being part of the team of great people that shared his passion and vision for revitalizing downtown. Just to give you a picture of how devoted my dad was to this project, after he passed, I found voice recordings that he had made on his iPhone, where he strolled the streets and alleyways looking for ways to improve the area. He was so devoted, in fact, that these recordings were all made at 4 o'clock in the morning while the rest of the world slept. One of the most exciting moments in his life was when he went over the edge a couple of years ago. Soon after that great day, he was diagnosed with leukemia, and by the time the ice rink opened, he was unable to see it personally. I made sure to take lots of technical pictures, as he called himself a technical guy. When I showed him the pictures of the rink, he was grinning from ear to ear. He would be very proud to receive this award and to have presented it every year in his honor. Thank you.
So at this point, I would like to bring up Councilmember Oliver Baines to introduce our keynote speaker.
All right, good evening. And listen, I have to start my remarks really quickly by saying the bacon on the table, Craig, is unbelievable. All right, I'm feeling really guilty right now, and fantastic food at the table. So, tell you a little story. Council members are funny. So, I saw this event on my calendar earlier in the week, and of course, I didn't open it up and look at it to figure out what exactly I would be doing here. So, Kate texted me last night and goes, "Hey, are you all set to introduce the mayor tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Sure. Now that I know." And she goes, "Oh, you didn't know?" I said, "No, I didn't know." So, of course, I go and my staff, of course, that put it in there that you, in big bold letters, you are introducing the mayor, but it took me to actually open the event in my calendar to see that. So I found out yesterday that I was introducing my friend and very dear friend and colleague, Mayor Ashley Swearengin. And listen, I thought about what I was going to say, and I almost told Kate I don't know, because as you all know, the president's coming on Friday. And I was going to hold this introduction hostage until I was extracted out of my mayor a spot to meet the president. But I won't hold the introduction hostage because I really want to talk a little bit about what leadership is. I had an opportunity to think about how I would introduce her today, and this is just an appropriate moment to talk about leadership with all of the challenges we've had in the city as of late. Many of you are very familiar with some of the challenges we've been going through. And I can tell you that this is hard work. The revitalization of downtown, every mayor before our mayor right now has talked about it. I think every council has talked about it. And most of you in this room in some form or fashion have encouraged it and talked about it. But it's a big difference from talking about it and actually executing it and being about outcomes and deliverables. There's a wide gap there, folks, and I can tell you that we are very blessed in the city of Fresno to have a mayor that exudes tremendous leadership around the issues that she says she's going to execute. I've actually, and I can tell you situations I've seen her in where she literally, and I'm not joking, and she's going to laugh at me, where I've literally seen her on her knees on a whiteboard writing out solutions. The mayor of this city, to make sure that we can get the things done we need to get done in this city. And I don't know if this city quite appreciates the type of work that it takes to get this job done. It's very hard work. And so I'm very humbled to be introducing my mayor this evening. You know, we work obviously very closely together, and it's funny because any disagreement we ever have is very public. But what you guys don't know is we all work very well behind the scenes together, and there's a deep, tremendous amount of respect that we have for one another. And I can tell you that you all should know that there probably is not a harder working mayor in this country to get the things that we need to get done for this city, a city with so many needs. And you all know what those needs are. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce my friend, colleague, and the mayor of this city, Ashley Swearengin.
Thank you. That was so kind. Gosh. Well, before I jump into the things I wanted to share with you tonight, I want to recognize another great of Fresno that sadly we lost today. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of this news for many of you, but I learned earlier today that longtime downtown Fresno advocate Joe Levy passed away today. Many of you know that Mr. Levy was the CEO of Gottschalk's, that he played a critical role in a national business headquartered here in Fresno, that he was a longtime advocate for maintaining a focus on the urban center and on the Fulton corridor. And when suburban growth began in Fresno, in Ernst, in the 1950s and 60s, it was Joe Levy who was one of the original 100%ers, the downtown business owners and merchants who came together and whose legacy we stand in today. He was the one who called his colleagues together and said, let's stay committed to downtown Fresno. Would you join me in a moment of silence and just let's think about and pray for Joe's family today. think there was one more piece of good news that perhaps we missed in the earlier countdown, which, by the way, let me just say, Kate Borders and team at Downtown Partnership, you guys are amazing. 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 I don't know about you, but just hearing the list of 10, 11, 12 things just tonight, the amazing things that are happening in our community, it completely changed my outlook and my affect when I think about downtown Fresno just by being here tonight with all of you. And I cannot thank and recognize the staff at the Downtown Partnership enough, the board of directors, the property owners who in the height of a recession stepped up and said, yep, we want to pay more taxes. What's that? Yep, more taxes, please. So that we can make an investment in our community and in the Central City. That is incredible commitment, and we honor you. We recognize you tonight. Thank you for what you're doing. I would add one thing to the list of great things that have happened in downtown Fresno this last year, and that would be the Heartland Poker Tournament. Come on, 100 million people watching people in Fresno play poker? I saw Kyle Kirkland yesterday, and he was like a proud papa, saying, look, they've got this TV show in my studio, in my casino, and this is the second year that they've come, and 100 million people are going to watch. And by the way, this tournament that goes all over the country voted Club One Casino in downtown Fresno as the friendliest and most accommodating casino that they play in. So congratulations. So congratulations, and thank you, Kyle Kirkland, for your investment in downtown Fresno and being such an anchor to the entertainment district down here in Fresno. So I want to begin my remarks with a bit of a warning. I think this may be the strangest State of the Downtown speech, and probably even the strangest speech that I will ever give on downtown Fresno I'm about to give. You're going to wonder what the heck has happened to our mayor. Who took over her body and possessed her and is standing before us tonight? So I want to just say, be forewarned, all right? Be forewarned and hang with me. Despite all of the incredible things that we've heard tonight about what's happening in downtown Fresno, despite the spontaneous outbursts of applause when we've heard about music and beer and events and beer and bacon and beer and all of the wonderful things that we've celebrated here tonight. Beer, we love our beer in downtown Fresno. Despite all of those things, I actually want to talk to you tonight about all the reasons why it's going to be almost impossible to revitalize our downtown. Now, bear with me, but I want you to have a really good look at the challenges that we face with the task at hand. Number one, we face 65 years of a traditional suburban growth pattern, 65 years of momentum to go in the opposite direction of our downtown. We've had 65 years of aligning city policy, city infrastructure, the city hall culture, city hall traditions, city hall expertise. All of that has been lined up for the last 65 years in the opposite direction of where we sit tonight. We also face the reality of a chronically weak economy that has not historically been strong enough to support the population growth in the city of Fresno, in the Fresno region, and in the San Joaquin Valley. If you couple number one challenge and number two together, what that means is as our city oriented in a different direction than downtown Fresno, and as we expanded outward, there weren't enough people and jobs and wealth that could move in and take care of the neighborhoods that got left behind in that outward expansion. So what we ended up doing inadvertently, and not with malice by any stretch of the imagination, but what we ended up doing was creating the highest concentration of poverty of any other large city in the United States that surrounds our central business district. It's a reflection of our economy, and it is a reality that we face. Number 3 challenge to achieving our goals and our dreams for downtown Fresno. Deficient infrastructure. We've got water pipes that are over 100 years old. How many of you have heard this? They're actually still wood under the ground in downtown Fresno. Recognizing the weak economy and the need to spend money in literally hundreds of thousands of miles of water infrastructure all over the city, where is the money going to come from to fix the broken pipes? If we burden the cost of private development, which already doesn't pencil out, which I'll mention in just a moment, if we burden the cost of that infrastructure on new development, that new development doesn't pencil out. So how are we going to come up with the money to deal with the decrepit infrastructure that we stand on today? Challenge number 4, our downtown is physically too big. It's too big. When we consider the freeways that create the downtown triangle, we're looking at an area of land that's about 1,500 acres that we call our downtown. That's about 5 times larger than other cities, Fresno size, would refer to as their downtown. 5 times too big. Too little money, too little market, too little economy, and a downtown that we're trying to revitalize that's 5 times too big? You people must be nuts. Challenge number 5, it gets worse. Banks struggle to finance new development and construction in downtown Fresno because the cost to build new or rehab our older structures is much higher than what the project is worth when you're done. So if there are any bankers in the room, by a show of hands, how many of you want to finance that deal? It doesn't pencil out. What we've been hearing from the private sector and from bankers is all too true and real. And today we face that challenge without redevelopment authority, without a financing tool to try to close that gap. Number 6, and there are only 8, so don't worry, I'm going to turn the corner here in just a minute. Number 6, regional growth pressures. Fresno is surrounded by other local jurisdictions, communities, and counties that all have their own ambitions and their own dreams of development that they want to see happen there. And they've all said, listen, we've been, riding off of the weight of the city of Fresno for a long time. We're tired. We're tired of our people driving to your town for development. We're going to build it ourselves. And I completely understand and honor and recognize the aspirations that our other neighboring communities face. And yet the reality is there's only so much demand for development in this city, in this economy, and in this region. So if and when that development happens, what does that mean for a downtown Fresno that faces these other pressures? Did I mention that we just went through the worst recession since the Great Depression? So let's put that on the list as to why this really may not work. Let's put it on the list. Recession. As we've heard from the Wall Street Journal recently, the city of Fresno is one of the most cash-strapped cities in America. And while our day-to-day budgetary pressures may be easing slightly, we still face major deficits from the past, and we don't have a reserve to meet a city our size. So recession, add that. Now, the last and final challenge that I want you to reflect on here with me for just a moment is this. Public skepticism. Despite your awesome attitudes here tonight and your belief in your downtown, if I could bottle this and spread it throughout the city of Fresno, we could take number 8 off the challenge list and just deal with the first 7. But let's face the facts. We're a little different than the people outside this room. People outside this room would say, the past efforts and projects, we've heard about this downtown revitalization for years, decades. There have been promises made, and those promises haven't come to fruition. We've seen a baseball stadium make a big promise. We've seen a federal courthouse, a state courthouse various new development proposals that never materialize, a museum, a parking structure, and usually Granite Park gets added to the list. Although Granite Park is nowhere to be found in downtown Fresno, but let's add it to the list of reasons why. Hey, Fresno leaders, community people, you failed in the past. What leads us to believe that you can be successful this time? These projects, I would add, were all done in isolation. It was almost as if Fresno was committed to seeing individual ingredients come forward, but there was never a recipe. So we would go in isolation after a baseball stadium or after a courthouse or after a parking structure. All ingredients, very good ingredients, that as we now weave together a recipe for our overall downtown revitalization, I'm so grateful we have those ingredients. But when those promises were made, they were made as if they were silver bullets and the only thing needed to spark the revitalization we've longed for such a long time. Mayor, you are a real buzzkill tonight. They planned the event for after hours so we could drink beer and eat bacon, and now you're completely killing our buzz. Why are you reciting these challenges? Why are you reminding us of our realities? Well, this is the reason. I want us to come to grips with just how difficult this task really is. I want you, just for a moment, and if I thought you would permanently stay here, I wouldn't have taken you to this place. So you're only allowed to stay here temporarily. But just for the moment, I want you to feel the weight of the challenges that we face in bringing this vision to pass. All right, just for a moment. Do I want you to feel discouraged tonight? Am I trying to discourage you? No. In fact, just the opposite. I want you to consider these challenges for the very opposite reason. I want to encourage you. I want to put in courage into your hearts and into your minds, because, believe you me, it is going to take, and it has already taken, a tremendous amount of courage for us to get where we need to go and for us to do what we need to do. In my 5 years and 1 month in office thus far, I've learned some important things. The first and most important thing I've learned is this: the easy things are easy, and the tough things are tough. The easy things are the things with which everyone agrees, or at the very least your political base agrees. And if you've got that, then the rest is easy. Those are the easy things. But the tough things are the things that have been tried before and failed. The things that evoke conflict. And they're the things that require substantial amounts of resource when you only have very little to apply to the challenge. Those things are hard. And if you're taking on something that is tough, you better plan on getting knocked around a lot before any of your work will come to fruition. Revitalizing downtown Fresno is a tough thing. It meets my 3-part test on what qualifies as tough. Number 1, we've tried before and failed, or at least we've fallen short of expectations. Number 2, not everyone agrees on whether or not it's important that we revitalize our downtown, and certainly not everyone agrees on the best way to go about doing it. And number 3, we have very little resource to throw at this compared to the size of the challenge. This one is really, really difficult. And it means that we better be prepared to get knocked around. We better be prepared to take a right jab, a left jab, uppercut, 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 sucker punch, and we better get ready, because sometimes you hit the mat. Sometimes you hit the mat. These are the blows of Fresno's economic reality, and it's their effect on changing and improving and revitalizing our city center. So sometimes those punches come so rapidly that you can't help but hit the mat. You can't help but get knocked out temporarily. And then the real test comes. You see, in my experience and in my opinion, the real test isn't what happens when you step into the ring and somebody starts throwing punches at you. That's actually the easy part. You do your best to block. You do your best to throw some punches back. And of course, I'm speaking metaphorically here for the Fresno Bee reporter in the room. I'm not talking about punching out the city council. Promise you. You do your best to fight back against those economic realities, against the real challenges we face in revitalizing our downtown. But the real test is what happens when the hits are the hardest and you actually go down. I've learned that in those moments, you've got a split-second decision to make. Do I stay down? Give up? Everyone will applaud how hard I tried. They'll give me the list of 8 things. They'll pat me on the back, and it'll all be all right. Do I stay down, or do I get up? And you usually just have a second to make that decision. And of course, in that split second, we determine the ultimate outcome of the fight. In March of 2012, my team worked extremely hard to put together what we thought was an award-winning, competitive, compelling application for a Tiger grant to reconstruct Fulton Mall. We put all of our eggs in that basket. We got everything as best as we could. We had everything covered. We had letters of support. We had lobbied members of Congress. We had lobbied members of the administration. We did everything right, everything. And we just knew this was our chance. And we didn't know that there would be any Tiger funding the next year. We were told, this is our last year. You have to get it now. You better get in there and win this project. So we put the application in March of 2012. 3 or 4 months later, the list came out of the award recipients, and Fresno was not on the list. We hit the mat, hit the mat on that one. I remember receiving a call from, at the time, the Secretary of Transportation, Ray LaHood, and he explained to me, listen, Mayor, everybody who ever gets a Tiger grant, they fail at least 2 or 3 times before they ever get an award. It's just that competitive. And I said to him, well, I hope we failed the best of everybody because we only have time to fail once. And he said, we're going to work with you. We're going to get you the help you need to make sure you're back in the ring and hopefully competitive in the next round. Fast forward several months. Sure enough, there was another opportunity by, miracle and stroke of genius of some sort. Tiger gets funded again for another year. The budget is continued. So Congress is in action, actually allows the funding source to still be there, and we have a chance to apply again. Go through the same drill. Only this time, we took the words on the paper, and we gave it to Suzanne Bertzrosa, and we said, make it look beautiful. Put some icing on this cake. Let's sell the heck out of this proposal. We did everything we could, put in the application. About a month later, we find out there's a new Secretary of Transportation. I tell my office, get on the phone and get me an appointment with him. Well, we don't know when he's going to be confirmed. You can't schedule a meet. They're not taking appointments. It's just going to be too hard. We can't do it, is what we're hearing from D.C. We pushed back. We said, no, get us an appointment with whoever is the secretary or the undersecretary on the day that we're back. I want to see that person. In July of this last year. Fast forward, a few weeks, a month go by. It turns out Secretary Fox is confirmed the week before. And just 2 or 3 days later, the city of Fresno is in his office, and it's the first appointment he has with any mayor in the country is with the city of Fresno. I make the pitch. I explain this is a project of national importance. We have to save our farmland, which means we have to stop sprawling. We have the highest concentration of poverty. And by the way, there's a high-speed rail station coming. And who among us wants to introduce the world that's looking at high-speed rail to some of the most dilapidated city blocks anywhere in the country? This is a project of national importance. The secretary sat there and listened very attentively, and his staff member who did exactly what she should do, she turned to me and she said, you know, this is a great project, Mayor, but it's just so competitive. We want to know from you, if you don't get the full amount, the $15.9 million you're asking for, what would you do and how can you scale this project back? I turned to her and I said, that is a perfectly good question to ask every other applicant in this contest, but I will not answer it because we need full funding. That's called a bluff, by the way. So I left the meeting and I thought to myself, we're going to get something. I don't know that we're going to get full funding, but we're going to get something. I get on the phone, we start scrambling to find out how are we going to come up with the match if we don't get the full amount we asked for, that sort of thing, get the wheels in motion. Fast forward, a few months go by, first week in September of 2013, I get a phone call from a block number. Those are usually good phone calls to answer when you're in government because it's usually someone from Washington, D.C., and it's usually a call you want to take. I answer the phone. Secretary Fox's office is on the line. We can't tell you what's going on, but we want to know if you could be available next Friday for a visit by the secretary. And I said, absolutely, we will make ourselves available, and we knew that something good was coming our way. We knew that we had gotten a grant. But we didn't know how much we were going to get. Fast forward a few hours later, we're celebrating in our office. We know we're getting something. This is great. We're planning a big party for the secretary to come. And then we get an email from Congressman Costa's office that forwards the list of awards. And right there in black and white, it said, City of Fresno, Fulton Street, $15.9 million. My chief of staff, Georgianne White, literally fell out of her chair and started crying. And those of you who know Georgianne know that was quite a moment for her. She shrieked, fell out of her chair, and started crying. We got the full amount. In fact, it was the 5th highest award made in the country and the only project that was funded at 80% of the 100% of the project cost. I share that story with you tonight for obvious reasons. Do I think that all we need in downtown Fresno for revitalization is a street where a mall exists today? No. No. Do I think it's an important first step to bring back our historic Main Street? Yes. Do I think this project has become a symbol of revitalization for our community, for all of us downtown supporters? And do I think it's become a symbol of whether or not we're going to give up the fight when things get hard? Absolutely. To me, that's what this project represents. Kate mentioned our need for your support at the council meeting on February 27th. And I'm telling you, every single one of you, you've got to come. Come at 4, start drinking beer. I'm sure there'll be bacon as well. And at 5 o'clock, the council meeting will begin. Now, I know many of you in this room, and I know what you're thinking right now is, oh, that's terrific. Other people will go for me. I've never been to a council meeting, or maybe more likely, I've been to one, and I never want to go back. You guys, I hear you. That is not an excuse. There are no excuses on this one. Every one of you must come. Every one of you must put on a shirt. Every one of you must fill out a yellow card. Every one of you must stand up and say, I support this project moving forward. I support change in our downtown, and I support a vision where Fresno is recentered in the revitalization of our downtown. Every one of you, without excuse, has got to be there. Now, I'm going to close with this story. A friend of mine, and I will, first of all, confess, I'm not a farmer. I don't know a lot about farming. I know how important it is. I know it's really important that we don't expand out into farmland, so we're doing our best in the city to keep from doing that. I feel like the city's doing its part, but I'm not actually a farmer. I heard this story from a farmer from California. And he told me this story about traveling to the Middle East one time. In fact, he went to Israel, and he was observing the farmers in this particular region of the world, and he noticed that the first step for these Middle Eastern farmers, the first step is they would go out and they would scatter the seed, scatter the seed, scatter the seed. No tilling of the soil, no preparing of the ground. The first thing these farmers did was scatter the seed, and then they came back around with the plow and with the utensils, and they crushed that seed into the ground. Now, this farmer, being from California, being a very sophisticated, high-tech farmer, asked one of these Israeli farmers, "What are you guys doing? What are you thinking? Don't you know you have to prepare the soil? Don't you know that you have to do everything with precision and get it just right and then put in the seed? You don't want to waste the seed. You've got to do all this preparation first and then drop the seed, and then you got a shot of that seed blossoming and bearing the fruit that you want it to bear." And this Israeli farmer looked at him and said, "No, no, no. We throw down the seed first, and then we crush it open. And that's what allows the roots to go down and the plant to take hold. It's the crushing of the seed and the exposure of what's inside that shell that actually causes the roots to go down and the plant to come forth." What a light bulb moment for us as we ponder the challenges that I started my comments with. 8 major issues, and if we sat here and we had more beer and bacon, we could come up with at least another 5 or 6 reasons why we got big challenges when it comes to downtown revitalization. But in the face of those challenges and in the reality of those challenges, when we're taking the blows, the body blows, we're taking the challenges, we're taking the setbacks, all of that sort of thing, I actually believe it is in that process that the seed of our vision gets crushed and the roots go down and take hold. I feel like there's a purpose in all of this. What it is producing in this room tonight and what it is producing across our city is a determination that we will break through, we will withstand the pressure, we will withstand the crushing because we want this so badly. If it was easy and our economy was different and it was a casual thing that we could accidentally stumble into revitalizing Fresno, we would not produce the commitment and the roots to that vision that we are producing as a result of the crushing challenges that we face. Do you hear what I'm saying? Are you with me? Okay. Thank you. You guys, this is really tough. This is really tough. Really tough. And we could do everything perfectly, execute our plans flawlessly, and still not know the ultimate outcome of all of this work. When I say that to some council members, they get awfully nervous. Oh, let's not try. It's too big. It's too hard. But all I have to do is remind them of where we are today and the status quo of our community, the highest concentration of poverty, one of the most disinvested in city centers anywhere in America. The only thing that I am worried about more, change is hard, and I worry about it like everybody. I worry about making mistakes. I worry about stepping the wrong way and not getting the results. I have all of those fears. I have all of those concerns. But the thing I'm more afraid of is staying the way we are today. And so, in my estimation, it's worth the risk. And we choose to move forward. We choose to work through the difficulties. We choose to work through the disagreement. We choose to work through the realities that we face. We face them, we address them, and for the first time in the last 65 years, I would say as we do that, our vision has a chance to take root and to take hold and to actually bring forth the revitalization that we all seek. Thank you very much. See you on February 27th at 4 o'clock.
Thank you, Mayor Swearengin. Isn't she wonderful? I think we can take on all of these challenges because we have a leader like this, right? Thank you all for coming. Desserts are coming out. If they haven't hit your tables yet, desserts are coming out. Have another beer. The experience is going to play again, and we will see you on February 27th.